Welcome everyone to another amazing live stream here on our channel. Of course, over the last 25 years we already built one of the best Linux distributions cross-compiling to all architectures, but Linus Torvalds didn't get the note yet because in his recent bed stack rot massive fixing, he writes here, note this conversion was done manually, and with the exception of alpha, it's like ironic and curious that he keeps alpha toolchain testing around, any build testing, because he, Linus Torvalds, simply has a fairly limited cross-building environment, apparently one significantly less outstanding than our just amazing raw, vanilla and clean T2 Linux. So what not taking this for another win-win like we usually do, not only the shameless YouTube self-promotion and sending an email to Linus Torvalds like, hey, reminder, further improving our T2 build system stuff. So what we have here already, what you have maybe not yet seen, or if you're new to this channel or a recurring subscriber, also GitHub, Patreon, YouTube membership or so on. Subscription of course is free and so on. And I hope you learned something. So usually we work here on packages. And what you may not have directly realized or is new to you anyway, we have this package selection. So usually, of course, we have over 5,000 or so packages, and which our data AI bot is daily updating, of course. And usually we build here minimal for minimal embedded, but otherwise Xorg, desktop or Firefox, which we have improved and revised over the last years here live on YouTube. But we never, live on YouTube, used Toolchain or Bootstrap. And that is exactly what Linus Torvalds actually could be using. So how this works is this package selections stack on top of each other. And if you use T2 to build one of the best embedded systems, like say you work for Tesla and finally want a working Linux distribution, or SpaceX and you want Linux space ready, space grade, Space Force grade, and such mission critical Linux distribution, and finally want to switch to T2. Of course, you would have a target here. That is what our targets are for, right? And so you would like either like Subversion or GitHub. Of course, you would use GitHub, right? So you would have a new directory. Let's call this Tesla or SpaceX or maybe even NASA. But they would probably, what is it, JPL or whatever, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, right? So you would have probably like multiple, like Pathfinder and whatnot. And like, or you would just have your embedded stuff, right? Like if you have some environmental control, like if your company's ACMER and it's like whatever, right? And controller or something that's right, controller. Stuff like that. And this generic, of course, I mean, we have here some examples, including Dreamcast. But usually we, of course, build our generic, right? So generic is just plain, mostly vanilla, except patch to work and so on, and be less buggy. And there we have this package selections, right? So that you have something to start with. But otherwise, like if you work for Tesla, then pro tip, group your stuff in your somewhat self-driving car target there. And these package selections are stacked. So what I wanted to mention is, like, if you look into 40mm Xorg, this numbers are, of course, the usual numeric sorting thing. And so they all include each other, right? So we have here Toolchain. So if Linus Torvalds wanted to test this tiny little hobby Linux kernel, and he needs, like, for his stack rot, previous video on the More Live channel, if he needs to test all architectures, like including IS64, like basically all we currently build here on a monthly basis, then all he needs is a toolchain, right? So that would basically be this. And so the point of this video is not only shouting this out, but also taking a look here before I sent an email to Linus. I mean, pro tip, test your stuff before you send an email out, because what's not tested is broken. And I personally have not built this toolchain in quite a while. So Toolchain, as you see, this is just what you would need for the compiler. We could theoretically further improve that. to do like, yeah, decade-old to do something like either a compiler selection. I also wonder if this, okay, this toolchain, because I don't see the libc in here, but the libc is selected, automatically selected by T2. But I do have audio. Hey, it's audio, amazing. But that I talk again with myself here live on YouTube. Cheers, hydration. So yeah, you should be able to build that. So let's grab a free Tmux and see what happens. Boot strap for Linus and give this a test. Let's see, he wants, I mean, he only has alpha, so we don't need to build alpha. So what would you maybe want to test? Should we call this, doesn't really matter too much, but whatever, state of the art. And then Toolchain. Let's see if that builds or if there's something missing. And now I have some secure shell lag here. That is at times I hope I didn't. Toolchain. Yeah. So the only thing is maybe, so ISO doesn't make the most sense. We probably should have here none. Maybe this one. Just script running. This is none. Okay, this is even, this is just shitty sorted shit. This is, okay, this is like either, probably this stuff is usually, is this IBC, what? This is, okay, it's L, okay, because it is N. It's not because it's not visible. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, we could also improve this menu selection thing that it doesn't confuse even me. And so that's basically it. So then let's test build that, because I've not done that in a decade. That's certainly something. Build target. So that would give you, like, if you wanted to use that at home for your microcontroller development, if you're not Linus Torvalds with his Linux kernel, that is what you could build there. So that gives you just a compiler, right? So of course, the benefit of T2 is you don't need to use sometimes partially working build root or so, or build tool ng or whatever, or manually fiddle around with Linux from scratch, but gets this automatically. Yeah, so glibc is auto-selected, so that gives you the compiler glibc. And so that doesn't build the Linux kernel, but that is not what Linus Torvalds would need, right? So Linus Torvalds would just need the compiler. That is what we automate here. And then if you epic thread rip that like we do here on a Ryzen 7 1050X, then you will have a cross compiler in some minutes. So Bootstrap, the point of Bootstrap is Bootstrap package selection. So that also includes not only the minimally needed, some of it sounds strange, minimal needed toolchain, but also some other stuff like shells, autoconf and stuff. So the other would rely on you have the stuff installed, and that is basically all you need. Also, yeah, this is this comment is actually outdated here. Unzip and zip for latest GCC Java. Because GCC even removes this. But you anyway need this unzip. So that is basically, you sometimes need that. Also, do we need zip? To be honest, maybe we can delete zip. So sometimes the point is, of course, of this live streams being a win, right? Not only YouTube promotion, but of course it's also a good idea, a regular pro tip. If you work on a code base like every year, or maybe not every year, like every 5 years, some review. So unzip you need, so this GCC comment was outdated, but unzip we at times need even for LibreOffice. Of course, usually we don't need unzip, except some packages unfortunately come as a zip, then you need unzip. I would actually hope we don't need zip, so maybe I delete this. So every 5 years, yes, the only constant is my recurring own criticism, the only constant is change and regressions. Of course, with every 5 years, some cleanups, we might break something, but the point is also you should test this first, right? So Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest package. Also, yeah, unzip is twice in here. Amazing. Yeah, that is. Oh wait, this is setlib, so setlib could be a little bit higher up, but it's what it is. Okay, that is building. Do we even build with 32 threads? And so yeah, this Bootstrap is already huge these days. So 20 years ago, you probably only needed like 32 packages, like patch, tar, cpio. Now, 20 years ago, we didn't even need package config. So yeah, SED, so this is all the stuff that on a fresh system, of course, you don't need this for, I don't know, GIMP or Firefox, but like to build stuff, right? And welcome everyone. The irony, okay, maybe time we only need ourselves for our build system, but yeah. Very theoretically, probably why does Bootstrap has... so Bootstrap, why does this... Maybe I don't change too much tonight, so yeah, Rocknet, because like if you just build binaries, you strictly speaking don't need Stone and Mine. Okay, CPIO, I mean, it could always be better sorted, like sorting tar to CPIO. Yeah, so also, is it maybe partially alphabetically sorted? Maybe it was once upon a time. Oh, you know what, now that I look at this, I think it was alphabetically sorted. Let's not change too much. But one thing, okay, there's still a couple of more. Okay, you know what? Okay, now I cd paste. Yeah, vim paste. Yeah, not the greatest fan. I don't sort everything now, but dash we added recently. I hate this copy and paste stuff. Yeah, okay, Cofine. Yeah, but at least not the first thing. So yeah, it's still mostly sorted, so the rest is fine, somewhat. Okay. So yeah, we need to do some massive PR boost, right? Nothing like getting Linus Torvalds testing kernel with our Bootstrap stuff. How do you bootstrap Rust on your system if it was removed? Oh yeah, this sucks. Yeah, if you have T2, I mean, you could run Rust up. I'm not the greatest fan of running Rust up. Otherwise, from the last tarball, how was it removed? Though, I mean, as long as you can, maybe from the last. Did I say tarball? I meant ISO. Maybe loop mount the last T2 ISO. Yeah, that sucks. How was it removed though? Does Rust remove it, or because if you build Rust, if building Rust fails, you still should have the old one, right? I mean, you could always Rust up. I mean, all right, you could even. All right, what do you mean with mine? You removed it with mine? How did you remove it with mine? We could improve it though. You could build it if you could as a hack. As a hack, you could comment out local Rust here, I believe. So we have already. Wait a second. Should this not? Okay. We could further improve this here. I believe if you comment out this local Rust here, it should probably the Rust owns build system probably downloads a static precompiled Rust-C from their crates.io, whatever. And that probably should work. We could further improve this. Like we could actually further quirk this to if you even have a Rust. Like we could make this if Rust version equals version. Yeah, we probably also want to further improve that to also do that if the Rust version is in a compatible range. We probably could also, what is our, you explicitly removed it. Rust wouldn't affect the build system as it's installed, and should it not still find it? So yeah, so you explicitly removed Rust, right? For some reason. Okay, so you asked for trouble and got the trouble. Yeah, so actually I wanted to check, are we still bootstrapping? And so at this point we have already, so within, what was it, 10 minutes? Yeah, like probably within 10 minutes, Linus Torvalds, and so Linus Torvalds probably has at least something as powerful as my 1750X or some Threadripper. And so like with 10 minutes per architecture, because this is a second rebuild of GCC in the Canadian cross-compiler Bootstrap, you don't need that to build Linux kernel, so he could Control-C already. I'm happy to see that this still builds, and that is good to know. So yeah, we could actually, I wanted to check warning. What is our warn? Echo warning. Good. Something that I saw it. Echo warning. Just that, yeah. So, okay, you had issues between, yeah, that sucks. So you can't, that is a Rust. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Although, sort of, okay, probably, probably that is due to stage, or is it? Yeah, because it's either the version. Okay, why do we have here unknown? Okay, that is for Bootstrap. Maybe this condition is not perfect either. Maybe this should be if we have. Yeah, that is a bit fishy here. Yeah, the Rust stuff is just too complex, and yeah, we should further improve that. One step at a time. So we should also issue a warning, actually, a warning that using Rust the package is that download, how do we word that? Will download download binary because even like when I build T2 now, I wouldn't really know, except when the build takes longer, that it downloaded stuff. So I guess, okay, this would still not help you though. No, it would help you. Does this support 1 equals 2, or do they support true or false? Just does it support that? syntax error near equals that. Command font? Whatever, I don't know. One command, not one. What? One command, not font? Come on, what's happening here? Just type. Okay, maybe there is some Unicode shit going on. I hate Unicode shit here. Okay, this apparently maybe supports braces. Actually, I could also have read the man page. Bash feature. Where is it not found? Failed record. Okay, maybe we should. This is too many. Do you know that I'm not typing on a pro keyboard. Shit, German. ISO Apple shit layout. I should use a proper. Damn, what did I want to type? Come on. I wanted to search for that because Apple decided, like, obviously. It comes from. So expressions. So do they list here? So actually there is pretty following matches line stored in shell variable line. Yeah, there's some pretty complex stuff supported. Grouping here. So here is placing list of commands between this causing subshell environment. Okay, not that we care about performance here. Why does this? Why does it bootstrap? Okay, we made one mistake. That is, we didn't toggle. This is a cross build between architecture, so it's trying to build natively. Of course, it doesn't work for it because it's just a toolchain. Yeah, no changes from native. Okay, anyway, the rest worked. Amazing. We named this wrong. We meant toolchain for Linus. Anyway. Okay, that still works. That is amazing. And so to come back to this here. So Rust version. So yeah, theoretically we need. So yeah, I guess that could, wait a second, does it even, wait, subshell? Okay, but okay, was it just? Oh, this works. This is not a subshell. I don't. Probably because we continue reading. Okay. By the way, do we need space there, or is it? Oh no, I didn't need a space there. Okay, amazing. So either that currently needs to be a unknown Rust host, or stage level. Why was it even? All right, right, because we need this unknown versus T2 for Bootstrap. Okay, so either the Rust host needs to be an unknown Rust host, or we have already bootstrapped to a later stage. Okay, so I guess it potentially could fix that for you, because now it's probably grouped. So because previously it was Rust version equals version unknown or stage level, but we need a version anyway. Like if we have no Rust version, then yeah. So I guess it could potentially maybe fixes that for you. Theoretically, we should test that, right? Should we commit this? Difficult questions there. Yeah, we go live. People ask anything because there is no Reddit anymore, and then the difficult questions come in. Does T2 has a Swift package? No, I started on it, and I haven't finished it yet. And let's, okay, and maybe we have a bounty, maybe we don't. The problem is that somehow it wasn't, yeah, add Swift link. So hey, if you want to add it, you can earn a $25 M bounty. Yeah. So the problem is, I mean, it's not that difficult. It was just as all the modern packages do, just doing weird modern things and downloading and whatever, downloading stuff and whatnot. It's like, does it, okay, DuffDuck says equals, why do you say this? Is this just your coding style? I believe both should work there, doesn't it? Now you only want to make me look this up. Well, I believe both work. It's probably just your style, right? Expression. Yes, by the way, okay, here's the expressions combined using following operators and or. Yeah, so there is it. Cool. That's like, yeah, you had one job. So yeah, both work. So this is just your personal style, not to confuse it with C or C++ or stuff. What are the advantages of doing this type of work in Tmux? Well, I'm not working locally, right? So I mean, if you even if you do this locally, the benefit is you can go home and log in remotely, but I'm actually working remotely 1,000 miles through the European fiber optics network here. So yeah, this is not local. And that's the advantage of, right, this is a Unix and Linux thing, right, of like, you don't care where your compute power is standing for. Are all packages configured in the individual build scripts only, or are there global configs too, like Gentoo? Well, there is this global config. So packages can have configs, most don't. And what we usually do is, in Gentoo you have like USB or so. From the top of my memory, I can't remember every detail, but what we usually do is we rather select this by installed packages, right? So what in T2, instead of use USB, you would select for your target, like let's say you have your Linus Torvalds or NASA JPL target, then you would select libUSB, right? And by selecting libUSB, you get all the other optional dependencies enabled. Like otherwise, all the architecture, so that is basically like kind of the useful. Like, so you see there are not that super many. There are some package, like, yeah, even there are some strange package options, like, because the thing is, if packages have options, then you have there some really strange outdated vintage stuff like Perl hostname and whatnot, like YOLO. I have not edited that, like maybe Claire have edited that. Like Colo, YOLO, whatever, what's going on there. Also PHP, BTMF, probably outdated. This is MB string. It's like, yeah, probably should be different today. It's just, yeah. Why is here? Oh, this is, okay, this is old. Yeah. We mostly don't need these options, and I personally find this option somewhat annoying. But you can have it. And in your target, so what you would do instead, like if you have your target, you would have this overlays, because there can even in Gentoo not, okay, maybe in Gentoo there is kind of sort of, but I mean, in general, you can't have a config option for every small little knob and detail. So I and my customers over the years preferred, instead of having gazillions options everywhere, in your target, like here in this desktop example target, just example, you can have special configs for each package, right, or kernel. So instead of adding global options for each package, I prefer, or embedded firmware developers usually prefer, to just configure exactly what they want on this package, whether it's libusb or Swift or GCC or Rust. So that's also the point of targets, right? To group and version all your configuration at another SpaceX and stuff, or Linus Torvalds home testing thing there. Yeah. It's kind of kconfig, but not having a option for each and every individual thing that could be there. So yeah, Swift package. By the way, if you're still there, you work with Swift, or you just asking, or just in case, or you're a fan of Swift, or yeah, let me know. So we have improved Rust. Maybe we should probably. So the question is, I probably leave it like this. The other question would otherwise be generic package selection. Speaking of secure shell, oh, we have drop frames. Ah, no, my secure shell. Speaking about 1,000 miles, nothing like European fiber optics. The question would be, do we need nowadays Rust in here? And LLVM and Clang greatly improving build time. And the thing is, if you would want to build, I mean, so I'm not adding that today, but that would be the question. And with this question, very theoretically, I mean, I could add to do LVM Rust Clang. And then the question is where to stop, right? How many languages should we add these days? But I'm not adding this today. And the other thing is, theoretically, those are dependencies of GCC. So if we want this, because we have a compiler option, does it even, I wonder if there is our Linus Torvalds config. I wonder if it even works, because like decades ago we didn't even have a real alternative compiler. Does it work to just select this? Maybe not, maybe. Yeah, so this does not work because it's not selected. So you would need to select Clang to be able to choose it here. The question is, let's better put it on the to-do before I forget this. Make C compiler selection also select the package, probably like libc. I believe I changed that for the C library, and probably we therefore should change that for the compiler too. And then the other thing was, yeah, Bootstrap with Rust is this too questionable. And that is the stuff, right? Software is never done. You do something for 25 years, and of course in 25 years quite a lot of stuff changes. And then some years later, you need to review that. Yeah, so the user who wants to use Swift, leave in the comments below why, for what. Yeah, we probably, which day was it even? July 3rd, 2020. Oh wow, this was just released. Yeah, I started, did we even package Julia? Okay, probably package that. Did I commit Swift? Apparently not. On which system are done? I think I have, probably on my portable SSD, wherever I have that. Okay, so yeah, Swift, leave the comments below if you're a Swift fan and for what you want that. So that's basically everything Linus Torvalds would need for his Bootstrap testing. Should we? All right, let's finish this with some 5 minutes of Rust love, as we touched that already. Other T2 developers do amazing OIDEF work. Data was at work, just checking what other members of our team have done. Because multiplies review stuff, right? Amazing stuff. And then let's check. We had one not applying Rust patch. ARM Big Endian, let's rebuild. Which config would this have been? ARM version 6B. And let's build Rust. That probably fails quickly with not applying patch. I had this locally deleted and forgot about that. By the way, is there a Rust hot fix? No, not. I'm surprised it still builds. I thought, what did I or was it cargo? Maybe it was cargo. It was cargo. Okay, then we need to fix cargo of everything broken upstream. By the way, maybe there's a new cargo version. All right, I believe I updated that now. Cargo 171. Yeah, of course I updated this, otherwise it wouldn't fail. Did I revert that? Revert, yeah, apparently I reverted that. Yeah, so that fails. And another pro tip, what I've done, by the way, is there what I've done to strace? Is there a new strace version? Because it currently doesn't, I urgently need to send our RISC-V 32-bit stuff upstream. Yeah, 6.4. Let's do that too. How much does fail there? Oh, cool, everything fails. Whoa. Okay, let's quickly check. How much? Didn't have some. ARM version 6B. By the way, before I forget it, I probably have this on some other to-do. Best build with O. And I have this probably on some to-do, but as Dash is asking, we probably want like generic atomic package emerge updates, so that we would build all the packages so that they build in their own sandbox and install in some destir, and that and never directly into the system, that would improve reproducibility and atomic updates and avoid partially installed package corruption. So, okay, we need to rebuild that, and strace. And that needs a RISC-V rediff, rebase. Usually it is as easy as, I have this already there, RISC-V 32. Okay, I have this in there. So SED, okay, first that truncates the patch, and then rebuilding that. I further need to automate that. RISC-V to strace. Let's hope we keep the build arrow there. And here is cargo 258 1880. What? Did I not? Don't tell me I edited, or did I forget to edit the config? Version 6 AB. Nothing like rebuilding it 3 times. So that's expected. Then strace. Didn't it? Same here. And probably I cleans it. No, we're lucky. Maybe. Yeah. Error? No, rejected. Okay, let's maybe first check the log. Hello, log. Apparently I cleaned it in the middle after all. So, strace. Yeah, needs this bloody auto-recon script. Question there, which MacBook? That is the M1 Max, what is it even, 14-inch? In retrospect, I made a mistake. I should have gotten, I mean, it is, of course, a compact travel companion. I would, in general, not really recommend this. I only have this because, don't delay, we have commercial, binary only and stuff, Mac software that keeps the company afloat. There, don't delay, try that today. Otherwise, I would like, if I would not have to touch our Mac software, I would not have that anymore. I didn't buy a MacBook for 7 years because the quality was just so garbage and overpriced and stuff. Unless you desperately want high performance ARM stuff. But for me, maybe I should have gotten the, what is it, 16 or whatever inch version, just because the display, like for me somehow, especially if you fire up Xcode, then like you have such, like if you're in the default configuration and all the views there, then your code window is like, but yeah, otherwise of course the 16 or whatever inch version is of course significantly larger, right? So yeah. Also, probably I usually don't travel that compact for that to matter, but yeah. Anyway, so rediff that. Did we? Yeah, we fixed the file diff that. Yeah, so that looks like this now, right? Amazing stuff that we probably built now. And let's redo that because it was partially deleted because I cleaned up during build. Professional as I'm usually working here. That's also why I'm live streaming, right? Actually, my OBS works, ironically, no kidding, OBS works so much better in Linux. The only reason I live stream when I'm working on my home desk here at home, that yes, I can boot Linux. I booted Linux 2 years ago. Just usually I run it more in QEMU, which somehow do not have, or maybe I quit. I minimized that. Pro tip. But yeah, the only thing is there is not a reverse engineered Macan video encoder, right? So not software encoding H.264 here. So otherwise, on my Ryzen and Steam Deck, like even on the Steam Deck, OBS works better because screen capture is a little bit sucky on macOS, and audio you can't even capture desktop audio without a third-party plugin or whatever bullshit is like that. 2023, when stuff works better in my Linux distributions than macOS. So what is this stuff? Okay, this is huge. So what did we edit here? Probably some endianness away. Endianness. Ah, here's target endianness little. So yeah, that sucks, of course. All targets. So this is what did I edit here? How did that work? How many of these lines are there even? Okay, not so super many. I probably should make a note for myself, because I really hate, this is this kind of detail that I really hate with Rust. That stuff is really shitty to work with. Yes, it looks nice and stuff, but like looking nice as over long lines without, okay, sure, I could potentially, yeah, use another kdiff3 or so and Kate and whatnot, but yeah, that is in my opinion just silly. So did I add here something? What do we have here? Target arm. Where is arm? What did I add here? This is just enabling this shit to build with Big Endian. Or did I delete? Did I delete little? All targets. What did I do here? Okay, here's little. Okay, maybe I just removed this little. Does it make sense? Okay, I removed this little. Okay, that is easy enough to replicate. It's lying at 2023. Build Rust for Big Endian by removing this bloody little Endian selector. Thanks. Nah. Linux little. Nah. Linux little. Any target arch arm. Nah. This is your config. All. So this is, I really find this hard to read, right? This works by target config and then all, not any. Nah. I don't get how people find this amazing. By the way, did I probably also cool my secure shell hangs now? So much too. It doesn't matter where you work from, except when you European fiber optics internet shit sucks. All not Windows. It's like, yeah, why did they, oops, target arch, why did they have to put it there? Maybe I should send this upstream, of course. It's like, hey, it works for me, please remove it. Probably the usual. No, I'm not applying that. Does it pass test suite? I don't know. Who cares about test suite when all we need is ship something? Better than nothing. Fix file diff. So yeah, what was the file name? Also strace. I have strace, of course, build. Bam. There you have that. Another amazing update live here from the week and after work code channel. And we had cargo, and so hotfix, we need to inject this there somewhere. Okay, here's cargo toml. Okay, this was all of this. Oh, that was an easy one. It's just this here, so okay. Yeah, this all, they probably, the way this didn't apply anymore, they probably added some architecture. And what? There's also use libc aux vector libc. What? So no version. Oh no, there was also a version change. But somehow all the other stuff also changed. So we know we would need a diff of diff visualization to best see. Yeah. Who cares? Let's see if it builds. I would guess previously it did build. Let's see if it does build. Cool. Manifest failed to parse. Not all. Ah, shit. Failed to parse all, not windows. That didn't last long. All, not windows. Ah, shit. So I find this actually so unreadable that I would probably redo it. Because good luck trying to read all those escaped and overlong lines. I probably over deleted just one. I mean, do we have a line number? Which line number was it? Failed to pass. Does it have a... What was it? ARM version 6 EB. Config expression. Unexpected content found after... wait, how many did we, or did I not, maybe I didn't misedit this, like usually a fat finger one deleted thing away. Here is, oh no, this is not opening a new, okay, this looks fine. Shit, even the scrolling sucks. Here's the next all target. There's little. This also looks fine, I would say. And here, Linux target OS equals Linux. Also, yeah, only the Rust people and stuff could invent a file format where you would need to escape all the quotes. It's like, yeah, thank you very much. It also looks fine in theory, general. Linux, target arch. Doesn't instantly. Linux, not all, target. Anyness little, comma, any. Don't instantly see a issue there. Let's look at the previously versioned. So here was all it looks like I just removed that there. It's the future, they said. It's amazing, they said. Failed to pass, Miri, not all. Does it? Unexpected content found after config expression. All, not Windows. Does it have a line number? I mean, we could probably copy and paste that. Oh no, we can't. Shit, we can't copy and paste it because it doesn't have the bloody quote. Thank you very much. Failed to get anyhow. As dependency package of cargo. Intermediate failed to compile. Okay, should probably, maybe we find this with Rustex. Ah, shit, that is in every line. Oh, for God's sake. Must go got to be kidding me. Target. What the bloody shit. Can't make this shit up. This is depressive. How did we build this? Running. Wait, error here. Okay, we built it with cargo. Cargo install, all this fine stuff. So, which of those would that be? Okay, the little we don't have anymore. Darn it. Okay, maybe we tackle this slightly different. Let's probably delete it. How do we do that? I'm trying to compile Val language which is written in Swift, or Swift is broken in most distros, not many packages depend on it. Yeah, so we probably should give that some more love. Share, like, subscribe, Patreon, GitHub, sponsorship, and we make it happen as we usually do even for Linus Torvalds himself. So let's build that. Cannot find error now in Linux roses. Failed to compile. Intermediate artifacts could be found. What is it? Okay, the other scrolled away. What did it here? Use libc aux vector. Okay, let's edit one at a time for better control what we break. So that is not all Linux endian is little. That should work or not? Okay, it didn't instantly error. So maybe we really misedited just some tiny little. So the thing is, can't even be super sure that cargo rebuilds everything. I had multiple times where I edited stuff and cargo did not rebuild everything. I don't even remember if it fully built. Maybe it did. Oh no, it actually now builds more. Like, yeah, fix Rust and cargo for ARM Big Endian by just commenting out the disablement for Big Endian. It's like, nah. Looks surprisingly good. Hey, we built it. Amazing, but we have more, right? What is here? Not Windows. Why do we not need this? I mean, okay, we don't need this. Fine with me. Okay, whatever. As long as it builds fix file. Diff. Nothing like fixing this stuff twice. By the way, we theoretically could make this an ARM only patch. We have here a RISC 32-bit. Okay, that is actually monstrous. You know what? Let's, in the future, not put the burn. I mean, I like to test stuff, but I personally test it anyway It's not like every normal user needs to test this. So arm, hotfix, big NDN patch arm, then only 32-bit ARM users get the burden of, which are obviously still many and stuff, but because actually only Dash, I believe, notified me of like, hey, you updated cargo without rediffing this. It's like, yeah, sorry, I forgot. So what I usually do is of course, when I just test latest Rust and cargo, I delete this and then I forgot to rediff it. So yeah. So that's it then. Another amazing live stream, some to-dos, some testing to make sure Linus Torvalds can make use of one of the best cross-compile environments. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. GitHub sponsor or Patreon. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Have a good day and night, and I hope to see you soon for all the next security vulnerabilities, breaking news, and more code and fixes to come.